We have an interesting video for you today. This show is going to be interesting. It's getting very interesting because the days we're living in, are very prophetic. It's Bible prophecy coming alive every day. It seems like every minute of the day, every hour of the day, something arises from Bible prophecy. So get ready, strap your seatbelts, get ready for this video. Come on, it's about the Red Heifer Sacrifice 2024 Passover this year. There's gonna be a sacrifice sometime this year, they said. Are you ready? Let's get going. Under new management, listen very carefully to this video. Bible prophecy coming to pass. Are you ready? Let's do this.
These are the red heifers that landed at Israel's Ben Gurion Airport. Rabbis believe the ashes of a red heifer are necessary for purifying priests to serve in a future temple. The heifers were discovered and brought to Israel with the help of the Bonei Israel, Building Israel organization, and its team leader, Byron Stinson. Rabbis from the Temple Mount Institute approached Stinson about the unique cattle.
They said, Byron, could you look in Texas and find us a red heifer? I wasn't expecting that, and it was shocking to me to think about it, but I know a lot of ranchers, and I know a little bit about cattle, being from Texas. And I always say yes to these Jewish rabbis because they're my friends, and I love them, and why not?
This began an in-depth process of finding the rare heifer that meets key stipulations found in the Bible.
The Bible gives us a clue as to the significance of the red heifers here in Numbers chapter 19, verse 1 and 2, where it says that God spoke to Moses and Aaron saying, "This is the ritual law that God has commanded, instruct the children of Israel to bring you a red cow without blemish, in which there is no defect, and on which no yoke has been laid." So it says that we're supposed to take a perfectly red cow with no white hairs or dark hairs at all, and a cow that no yoke has ever been on. So as a result, it's very, very rare to find a baby cow that is completely red.
The ashes of the red heifer would be used to purify water from the Gihon spring in the city of David. Just a few ashes could purify thousands of gallons of water. That water can be then purify priests from any contact with a dead body, so they can offer sacrifice in the temple.
Some Jews go every single day to a ritual bath, to a mikveh, in order to approach God in prayer in purity. However, it is not the same because we don't have the red heifer. Once we have the red heifer, we'll be completely pure and we'll be able to rebuild the temple.
The red heifer must also be 2 years old. These cattle are just around a year old and could qualify in just over a year.
So if they're able to make it without growing the white hairs or black hairs, I think with 5 of them we have a really good chance of that. Then they will be the first one in 2,000 years.
So 2024 Red Heifer Sacrifice. You know what this means? That means we are so close to the reconstruction of the third temple located in Jerusalem on Mount Moriah. Where is Mount Moriah? That's where the Dome of the Rock is located right now. This is the final piece, guys, the red heifers. This sacrifice is going to take place this year according to Jerusalem, according to the Temple Institute, according to rabbis who work according to the Temple Institute. They're saying this year is going to be the red heifer sacrifice. Yes, they bought 5 red heifers. 1 they had to get rid of because it was blemished, but there's still 4 that are unblemished. That means they're perfect. So this is all going to take place on the Mountain of Olives, right outside the eastern gate of Jerusalem. See, when you're standing on the Mountain of Olives, you're going to the priest is going to be able to look at the temple. The temple the temple site, and this is where it's going to be located, right on Mount of Olives. Here we go. It says, last September, 5 red heifers arrived in Israel amid great fanfare because some Jews and Gentiles believe red heifers, their cows, are a key element leading to the building of the third Jewish temple, according to this website. The heifers are now in a secure location. But plans include moving them to Shiloh. This is where the tabernacle of the Lord used to be, the tent of meeting, where the tabernacle of the Lord once stood for nearly 400 years. So right now, the red heifers are between the ages of 1.5 and 2 years old. To replicate the ceremony mentioned in the Bible in Numbers 19, they need to be at least 3 years old. And within that time span, they cannot have a blemish or anything that would disqualify them for the ceremony. According to those working on the project, the ceremony of the red heifer needs to be performed on the Mount of Olives and in a place that would have looked directly into where the temple stood. See? The land directly east of the Temple Mount, purchased 12 years ago, meets both of those standards. So this, ladies, it's so close. They're saying Passover 2024 could be where we might eyewitness the red heifer sacrifice on the Mountain of Olives. And then the sacrifice, the priest must have in view the temple site. This is where the Dome of the Rock is located. It says Stenson believes this would be the first possibility for such a ceremony in 2,000 years, and that the process toward building a third Jewish temple began when the Jewish people stated their return to the promised land from the four corners of the world, culminating with Israel becoming a nation. Incredible, right? Wow. Stay tuned for more of it. Me and Gary are going to put together a video on the red heifer sacrifice and the importance of the red heifer. So get ready, guys. Time is short. Be ready. I pray that you draw close to Jesus, you fall in love with Jesus, and may call upon the name of the Lord. And the Bible says you shall be saved. If you're playing around, playing games in sin, you better get right with God, because the rapture can happen at any moment. It's imminent. Remember, the rapture must take place before the rebuilding of the temple is put in place. God bless you guys.